everybody will punch their ticket, but it has a tremendous amount of potential. And there's a lot of dudes who, while have some similarities, are different stylistically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of cool. But man, when you look at Southern Cal's QB, Oklahoma State's QB, CJ Carr at Notre Dame, Julian Sayin, we'll see at Ohio State, Trinidad at Ole Miss, Arch at Texas, Levitt at LSU, Dante Moore at Oregon, and there's many more that I haven't mentioned that have the potential to be top 3 round picks. But it could be like a full meal deal of QBs in the first round. We've had some big numbers, but it could be a big number. I mean, this year we thought it could just be one. And then the Rams did what they did, grabbing Ty Simpson out of Alabama.
That's crazy.
It is kind of crazy to burn a pick like that when you're going all in later for Myles Garrett. Right. You would think you would say, hey, we're going to need to do this, but we just can't do it. We just have to get the best available lineman on the board just because of what we're trying to do here in another month, which they did by getting Myles Garrett from Cleveland. So, but hey, how can you question Les Snead, general manager? They've had a tremendous amount of success with the Rams. They've won a Super Bowl. They played in the Final Four a couple of times, and they continue to be aggressive. And people say that you have to go away for 3 or 4 years, but they don't.
No.
And so my question is, but what if they just said, we're going to go draft the best lineman on the board? Boy, that'd have given you some really, either an offensive line starter, another one, or a defensive line starter. But they went Ty Simpson, who's probably going to carry a football and wear a headset for 2 years.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because to me, Stafford's got.
That's what I said.
Like
if they don't want him out there, send him down. Send him on down. I'd love to see him don the black and gold in the last years of his career. I wish he would.
Who?
Be Stafford. If they want to move off of him, I'll take him.
I think by then he'll be 40.
Is he that old?
I don't know. You tell me if he's 37 or 38 now.
He is 38 years old.
Yeah. So now look, 38 is 30 now in the league. These guys are in, again, this. They all make $50 million a year. They have a personal trainer, a personal PT, a personal massage therapist, a personal trainer, everything.
MVP.
And they've got everything in their room, in their beautiful home. I mean, they've got the highest quality sauna. They've got cryotherapy. They've got, everything that you can think of to get their bodies. So going forward, and it started watching a quarterback play at an insane high level at 38 is not going to be a big deal.
I agree, yeah.
Those that take care of themselves, which is the majority of them.
Right, he won an MVP at 37.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm going to see what he's got in him. What was he like in Georgia, though?
He was awesome.
I mean, he did.
They were big time.
Like
they were electric, and they were big time, and their problem was Mark Richt just wasn't a championship coach.
Yeah.
They won 10 games all the time. They had a lot of fun. They averaged 10 games every year, which was a ton of wins in Athens and on the road. They couldn't get past Florida, even though Florida was a lot of a disaster a lot of the time. And once, Richt couldn't get past Urban when Urban got it going. But then when Saban came in, he wasn't going to be able to find his way. Hell, Gary Pinkel went to 2 SEC championship games, and Steve Spurrier went to, I know of 1, but maybe 2.
Whenever he was 3 years at Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Oh, was it 06, 07, and 08?
3 and done.
Yeah, 3 and done.
We hung out, Bartu and I hung out with Aaron Murray. He was another one of their quarterbacks. He was good.
Yeah.
He wasn't Stafford, but he was good.
Right.
Bartu and I hung out with Aaron Murray, and I think it was his fiance at the time, when we went to the cocktail party, Florida-Georgia game a few years ago.
Sharon.
And our friend got us into the VIP.
Nice.
They set up a beautiful VIP food bars and bars before the game inside the Jacksonville Jaguars indoor practice facility, which is connected to the stadium in Jacksonville. And so, I mean, I'm talking about lobster and like beef tenderloin sliders and all. It was insane. We had a great time. And Aaron Murray, he hung out with us because there was a bunch of stiffs.
Oh, yeah.
And
right.
Bartu and I were having a large time.
Yeah.
And so we had already been out tailgating in the parking lot. Every parking lot is designated. One, it goes Florida, Georgia.
Right.
It's crazy.
Oh, that's cool.
So you walk in a parking lot and it's red and black. Then you walk in the next parking lot and it's blue and orange, and so on.
All right, that's sweet.
It is.
By design, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah, and so you have all these groups together getting ready for the cocktail party in Jacksonville, Florida, Georgia.
That's tight.
But Aaron Murray, one thing Mark Richt did is he had quarterbacks, man. He did. He did.
I mean, Aaron Murray, put some respect on that guy. Saying that's your SEC passing touchdown leader of all time.
He must have played 4 years.
10, 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
They surpassed Werfel, who had 120, who had 114. They're the only two that have over 100. Will Rogers right there at 94.
Yeah, I mean, when you throw 60 times a game, all of Leach's guys, Falk, Kingsbury, BJ, Sonny,
was
Gardner,
Lorenzen?
all of them have crazy numbers.
Was he in Kentucky when Lorenzen was there?
No, he had already left. Mummy was, but Leach had Tim Couch, and then Bob Stoops hired him as the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then Leach wasn't there long. He signed Josh Heupel. They had a nice year. He left to go to Texas Tech, and then they won the national championship with Josh Heupel.
Still I cannot believe that.
I know.
That's just a hard thing for me to accept.
I know.
And I like Josh Heupel.
I do too.
Doesn't look like a quarterback to me.
Josh Heupel looks like the ultimate beer and blue plate guy.
He looks as much as as a quarterback as Levy does a head coach.
He looks like an offensive line coach instead of a former national championship quarterback at the University of Oklahoma in the air raid.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, Oklahoma went from running the wishbone with Jamal Holloway and Barry Switzer for years to losing their way under Gibbs, Howard Snellenberger, and John Blake, I think it was. And then Stoops comes in and has the bells, big stones at that time to say, no, we're going to change and we're going to run the air raid. Because they dominated me when I was at Florida as DC, and they were at Kentucky. For goodness sakes.
Right.
NFL Chuck Mullins, Cleveland Browns superfan, criminal defense superstar, coming up next.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
Is now recorded.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Lowbound. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
He walked out on that field, and it was like football Jesus had hit.
That's what they said about Chuck Mullins. Yes, sir. Mid-'80s, baby. West Virginia. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're brought to you by the Rack of Lamb and the Bacon Wrap Shrimp. Pair it with an Elijah Craig Old Fashioned. And that's KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. And we'll be going to Louisville, Kentucky, July 23rd to pick out another Elijah Craig barrel pick. And I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be epic and awesome. Mo Williams was texting me, I told you a couple of days ago. He's now an assistant at Kentucky, played the NBA forever. He was with Jackson State, and one of his sons signed with Kentucky. And I was giving him the rundown on all the awesome restaurants, including Tony's in Lexington, Frank and Dino's, and Italics, which is in the lobby, but not the lobby, in the same building of the Marriott. All right, Chuck Mullins on the Out of Bounds Show, NFL insider, Cleveland Browns superfan, and criminal defense attorney superstar. Is that good?
Yeah, and I also do anyway. No, it's
I thought you were going to say hot yoga or something. Hey, what's your website for your law office?
ChuckMullinsLaw.com, and just like every Ole Miss fan, Chucky Mullins. That's easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
ChuckMullinsLaw.com.
ChuckMullinsLaw.com.
And as my friends make fun of it, they say Mullins Law. And I'm like, really?
Come on.
I know, but it's kind of catchy.
All right. Hey, one of the big stories is Brendan Sorsby.
Who?
Yes. So Texas Tech did a multi-million-dollar deal with him. He had a phenomenal year at Cincinnati. Cody Campbell's the billionaire who played for Leach years ago, and they're doing whatever it takes to be what they want to be in college football. Sorsby goes. He's been caught up in the whole sports gambling thing, and the Big 12 and all the coaches and ADs raised hell, and the commissioner didn't like it, and so on. So he wanted to go. He wanted to say, all right, I'm not going to play, and I'm going to go to the supplemental draft. And the NFL denied him this week. So walk me through what is going on now with his attorney and the NFLPA and everything else.
Yeah, this is a mess that the NFL and the NCAA have brought on themselves with, putting their arms around the gambling industry and welcoming it in. Right. So here's where we're at. Sorsby is in a dead zone legally. He is not a member of the NFL union. He has no rights under the collective bargaining agreement between the NFL and the Players Association, which is collectively bargained for, which, literally sets forth their rules, rights, obligations of employment. So he cannot avail himself to any type of CBA appeals from the NFL's denial. The CBA is set up in this area as the NFL has discretion. Discretion is a dangerous word. But they have discretion to either hold or not hold the supplemental draft. So, and when you give obviously I'm an attorney, so when you give a trial judge discretion,
right,
the only way they can have that opinion or that decision they make reversed or overturned or modified is if they abuse that discretion, which is a high standard. So the NFL's set up real nice here. Sorsby's attorney, I think, anticipated this. I think that Sorsby understood that when he came in and got drafted in the supplemental, which he had been given indications that he would be drafted.
Sure.
He knew he was going to have a suspension from the NFL for what happened, even though the NFL doesn't have control over what he did in college.
How do they have jurisdiction to do that?
Okay, so that's a great question. And two things. And that may have been a bigger fight. If the NFL would have said, okay, we're going to allow you to come into the draft, but we're going to set you out, there would have been a fight over that because he is not, until he signs or contract or enters into settlement negotiations with an NFL team, he doesn't have any CBA rights. So the NFL has great lawyers, obviously.
Yeah. Unlimited budget.
Unlimited budget. So they probably said, look, let's not take that fight on because he will be a part of the union. Let's keep him from getting in the union and just say, hey, look, we're not going to let you play in the league. And that's going to be your year suspension.
And then you get to go in April.
And you go in April.
Next April.
Yeah. And then everything's kind of cleaned the slate for the NFL.
And this, let's be honest, because everybody's about PR and a big entity like that is, and that's okay. All right, let's be honest here. They know that it'll burn off.
Yeah.
Will it get brought back up? Yeah, but we're going to have a million stories coming up just for football season alone.
It'll be washed out.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
But the fire won't be as hot.
But nobody likes the NFL corporate structure. They boo Roger Goodell when he comes out on stage.
Right. Which is so dumb to me.
It is so, but it's just part and parcel because they do stupid things.
Sure.
This is the NFL. This is my analogy. Hopefully it'll work. The NFL is like the parent who sells drugs out of his house, and does drugs. And, the kids are around watching all this and people come and go. And then the parents are shocked when their kids start using drugs.
Right.
Like, what did you expect?
Right. No.
So the NFL has done this. And so the letter that they sent and they published out, they said, let's get our lawyers to, let's get a good letter that makes us. So they address it to Sorsby and his lawyer, and they attack Sorsby for the petition he filed for the supplemental draft.
Right.
And the lawyer came back and he addressed it. So the NFL said, well, you didn't address all your gambling problems. You didn't take accountability. You didn't provide this, that, and the other. And what you did is against the core values that the NFL stands for. And you're smiling. I'm looking.
Well, yeah, because DraftKings.
Literally, the DraftKings sponsored the segment where they announced all of this on the NFL Network.
No way.
Isn't that?
It's up the whole time during the red zone.
Exactly. It's like, and I'm thinking, okay, this is hypocrisy.
Sure.
What the NFL should have said, if they really wanted to have credibility, is like, you know what? We see that we may have been a part of this problem.
Right.
We have normalized this around the country. When you and I, Jackson, in the 80s, gambling was a sin.
Oh, gosh. Yes.
Buddy, if my mom and dad, I couldn't even say, I bet you can't bet in this household, son. Right. No, you get out.
I bet I'll score 16 points tonight.
No, you can't. I'm not,
Right.
So our generation, it was starting to be normalized.
Right.
Our kids.
Jimmy the Greek was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, my dad
or
wouldn't.
Musburger dropping little bitty nuggets in a broadcast.
Yeah. And so our generation, it was normalized. Now we're taking our kids on family vacations to Vegas. Now our kids are degenerate gamblers, essentially. Gavin calls me up on the.
All you have to do is walk in a college apartment or frat house on Saturday morning, and there is more action than all the strip clubs in Asia.
Gavin calls me up Sunday night one time. This is once. He said, hey, man, I need some coverage. I owe my bookie X. I'm like, dude, you what? So I'm thinking about Joe Pesci.
I need man coverage, Dad.
I was thinking
not zone.
Pesci showing up at his, with a little Ole Miss shirt on.
Yeah.
And but seriously, they've normalized it, and now this happens.
Right.
And you can't run from it.
No.
And so anyway, yes, I hear you. So his Sorsby's lawyers, what does he do? Well, he knew this was coming. The NFL set their letter up by saying the NFL, playing in the NFL is a, quote, privilege. So they've established it's not a right, it's a privilege. So you can, taking away someone's rights can be done, but it's harder. A privilege, it's much easier to take away a privilege.
So Sorsby's going in the NFL draft next April.
Well, I guess so.
Well, we can continue to discuss. All right. And then we may get into Mahomes and what the Chiefs. He tore two ligaments in December. I know he'll be back, but kind of what does this mean for the Chiefs' future? They went on that 6-year run. It was great, magnificent. But are they going to find that star power again? NFL Chuck Mullins, attorney at law on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, powered by Pearl River Resort.
That was a good thing.
How many guys you know have a stripper pole in their home?
Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Only 35% of Chuck Mullins' clients have that. We're live in the Bank Plus studio.
I used to have that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You used to have that.
Used to have that.
Now you run Bellhaven. So, I mean, come on. I ran it for over a decade, and now you run Bellhaven.
I love it.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's a great neighborhood.
It's awesome. Bellhaven and Fondren area. For those Jackson, folks in Madison, Ridgeland, Brandon, you need to come down and experience that area. It's awesome.
Oh, look, I tell people, because I grew up in Bellhaven,
Sure.
as you know, but I tell people all the time, Chuck Mullins, that my buddies that live in Madison and Rankin County that don't ever go in Jackson miss out. Because there's so many great restaurants and dives and this and that, and it blows me away that they've never. I mean, I'm in the Bellhaven, Fondren, Highland Village, the Rogue area all the time. But
thanks for giving me a call when you drop by. Anyway,
Rowan's next week.
There you go. I used to be in the McMansion in Ridgeland behind the gated communities and isolated.
Your house was big,
absolutely
phenomenal.
And thank you very much for reminding me of that, Bo. I appreciate that.
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. Anything else about my house that you liked over there? The pool, was it nice?
It was, and I enjoyed.
So, folks, if you need,
having
divorce
cocktails
advice,
there.
call Chuck Mullins, chuckmullinslaw.com. Anyway, no, I love the Bellhaven area. And they do miss out. Everybody has the negative connotation. But just Tuesday night we had the bowling league
At the station.
At the station, highball lanes.
Yeah.
Walker's crew was over there. They've got a team. Chaz Lindsay's got a team from Toledo.
Nice.
And we had 16 teams. Great. Everybody in there drinking. Lock Ward is there.
The realtor.
My realtor, your realtor, Lock Ward. Great community type thing. So I encourage people to come down and enjoy that area.
Oh, it's great. All right, Chuck Mullins on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. His website is chuckmullinslaw.com. Criminal defense attorney to the stars. Okay, so let's talk Brendan Sorsby. Bottom line it for me. If you had to handicap it, speaking of betting, if you had to handicap his what could play out, 80% this or 60%? Tell me what you're thinking.
Yeah, NFL is going to win this case. Tom Brady's lawyer from Deflategate is representing Sorsby. He's going to create a big headache for the NFL along the way. There's going to be modifications and changes, I believe, by the NFL, recognizing what they've created. They're making a lot of money off of it, but I think there's going to be a lot of black eyes for the NFL, but they will come out on top. They will, because of the discretion.
Sure.
There's going to be a case filed in the federal or state court, probably some type of antitrust litigation.
Okay.
Of course, but I believe the NFL at the end of the day comes out on top.
Okay. And Sorsby ends up as in a very crowded, so he goes from kind of having his own space in the supplemental draft, Chuck, to what we believe is going to be a really crowded April NFL draft next year with Dante Moore and Arch and Trinidad and all that.
If the USFL is worth its salt, the Houston Gamblers will pick Sorsby up to play this year
and pay him whatever he wants.
You can't buy that kind of publicity.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it literally will spin it right back on the NFL to see how hypocritical what they're doing. Now, I'm not forgiving Sorsby from this, but I think there needs to be some understanding.
Absolutely.
Anyway, but yeah, the NFL wins. It's going to be ugly.
Okay. Let's switch gears here to Myles Garrett real quick. You feel like your Browns – see, a lot of times as fans and fandom, and especially on Twitter, we have to have a winner and loser. We can't have two winners. And there are many times where deals get done, as you know. You've made a bunch of deals where both sides win. They find a spot. Everybody feels like they walked away, maybe not everything they wanted, but 80%. You kind of look at the Myles Garrett from the Browns to the Rams that way, right?
I do. Every time you go and you mediate a case, and what I do, and I also do civil work. I do much more civil work. I do jail abuse cases, prison abuse, police abuse cases. So you get a settlement, and the great mediators that I use, Keith Ball, former magistrate judge, private mediator now, Bobby Dallas, they tell my clients, and I agree, that in a settlement, both parties walk away feeling like they lost. Okay? Because you gave up a lot.
Right.
The Browns gave up a Hall of Famer and Myles Garrett coming off second 2 years of the last three player of the year, definitely the preeminent NFL defensive player of the year. So obviously they gave up right now.
Right.
It's a big gap on their defense. What they got back, they hope, is they will create, as they Moneyball theory, create Myles Garrett in the aggregate.
Right.
You know, and I think Myles Garrett did everything for the Browns since he was drafted. Nothing that we could ask him to do anything more.
Right.
I personally don't think he ever wanted to be in Cleveland, and you could tell that. I think we were talking about that off air. You know, we were the geeky nerd with a lot of money,
right?
But we weren't the hot boyfriend with a lot of money, and the Rams are that for
right.
Myles Garrett.
LA, I get
and he
it.
will look. He's going to dominate out there. I'm happy for him.
Sure.
I like Verse. Jared Verse comes in. He's automatically according. Look, none of the Browns went on Twitter after Garrett's trade and said anything.
That should tell you something.
You know, it's like the Bo Callahan.
Yeah.
He didn't get advice.
He didn't.
You know, and I'm thinking, wow, that's true. You know, look, teammates being in the locker room is important to building a team culture, as you guys know. In business,
sure.
In sports, it's the same. And Garrett came in and always showed up in shape, did his job, but it wasn't part of the team. He had his own independent thing.
Right.
So anyway, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for their Browns going forward. You know, we got draft picks. We've got a guy looks like he knows what he's doing with the picks. So I think this is one of those right now short-term winners, the Rams. The Browns have a chance long-term to develop this and build. I started laughing because I'm saying, and yet again, start building for the
right
rebuilding. But, you know, it wasn't working what they had, so this is what they needed to do.
All right, Chuck Mullins, NFL Chuck on the Out of Bounds show. I got 2 minutes. Patrick Mahomes, they're not going to go through the 6-year run they did. The question is, with him coming off 2 ligament tears and everybody getting older, Chris Jones and so on, some people aren't there anymore. Kelsey's 35.
You know,
what does this look like?
It's the point of, if this was in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you know, obviously Mahomes, he could last another 5-6 years and gut it out. He doesn't need to do that anymore.
Right.
You know, he wants to, in 10, 15 years, be able to play with his kids, his grandkids, 20 years. And he's like, so Kelsey's the same way. He's got that Taylor Swift money now, brother. You know, but seriously, they don't need the longevity anymore.
Right.
If they have the desire to play, great. So I don't think you'll ever see that run again, not because of, you know, his health reasons. Everybody gets older, brother.
Yeah.
You know, you wake up and you're like, good Lord, what did I do last night? You watched 2 hours of Netflix. That's what you did on the couch. That's why you're, you know. So I don't see it ever happening. Great run, but they're going to be that consistent. You know,
still dangerous.
And, you know, watch him get MVP this year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. They did.
Because as long as you have Andy Reid.
Yeah. And again, eating crow on that one. But Andy Reid, NFL Hall of Famer soon. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's, you know, everybody gets a little older, and the Chiefs had a great run, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, you look back at
what he did with McNabb, Alex Smith, and Mahomes is impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. And you got to give him credit. I think when you look back, you can put him up against the greats. I mean, not as many as Belichick.
Yeah. But still.
In this era of free agency.
Yeah.
And the new college NIL regulating that. And he's done such a great job dealing with all this.
What is he? 9 NFC or AFC championship games?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think he went to 5 with the Eagles.
5 with the Eagles.
And I don't know how many with the Chiefs. I mean, 4 maybe low. Didn't they rip off like 5 or 6 in a row? I can't remember. Cincinnati went to the Super Bowl, so there was a little bit of a. Okay, got it. Real quick, there was one other.
They're playing me out, man. I hear my music.
Do you just play one fantasy football league? Or
yes, one like in Lord of the Rings, one ring to rule them all. I do one fantasy to rule them all because I can't root for other guys on other teams. You know what I mean?
Got it. Okay. All right. That makes sense. All right. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We have a special guest, Kurt Belding, coming on the show, professional outdoorsman, coming up next. Chuck Mullins, thank you, buddy.
Absolutely.
We'll see you soon.
Guys.
You know, All right, good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. Show is driven by your next GMC Sierra truck, GMC Yukon at Fowler GMC Pearl Brandon. Hit their website today, FowlerGMC.com. You can watch the show right now on YouTube. The YouTube channel is Out of Bounds Sports. And we want to welcome in Kurt Belding, professional outdoorsman on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. This is going to be a fun interview. Obviously, about 90 to 92% of our guys hunt or fish or both. So this is kind of a good, sports talk radio is kind of a good demo for what we're doing here. Kurt Belding, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Bill. Good morning. You hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you. Man, this room that you're in is cool. Tell me about it.
Oh, well, a big thing of being an outdoorsman, hunting and fishing, I like taxidermy. Yeah, I enjoy it quite a bit, but my wife does not, so I stick most of it in my office.
It looks good. I mean, yeah. So, in other words, you got overruled as far as putting one of those in the main kitchen living room area, right?
Yeah, I got, I was able to sneak one up in our living room, but that's about as much as I can do. So the rest of it comes in my office.
Kurt Belding on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. All right, walk me through how you went from successful entrepreneur fitness industry to professional outdoorsman.
Yeah. So, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. I really enjoy the fitness industry, and I was pretty deep into the fitness industry till I hit about 40. And then I think as most men, we kind of hit an age at some point where we have a midlife adjustment crisis. Sure. We look at like, hey, time is crushing in on us. And am I really doing what I want to be doing in life? So I posed that question to myself, like, look, if I had all the money in the world in my bank account, what would I really be doing? And the answer was, man, I just want to go on really cool hunting adventures all over the world, as remote as I can get, way away from civilization and people. And I said, well, I don't need all the money in the world to do it. I could probably do it now. So I quit everything I was doing, closed businesses, shut everything down, sold what I could, and just started going on cool hunting adventures and trying to figure it out.
All right. So hunting TV is usually polished. And you've gone a different direction. All right.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Yeah, and I really enjoy hunting TV. I grew up, hunting in the Midwest, watching a lot of the television shows, the DVDs that you used to buy and hunt. I've enjoyed watching them, but they were all pretty polished. And, it seemed like 70% of it was commercials, and then you had some hunt footage in there. But I just didn't think, especially nowadays with social media, you only see the highlights and the best of everybody, the glory reels. And it's just not realistic to me. And, especially new guys in the industry or maybe more novice hunters or anglers, they see guys always being successful. And then they go out and try to hunt, and they're not successful, because the reality of it is you're only successful maybe 10% of the time. And then guys go out and not be successful, and they think that they're a bad hunter, or they give it up, and they're just not seeing the reality, the truth of the matter. And so I wanted to show everything, all my mistakes, all the mess ups, the truth of hunting. Yeah. And
it's good content. I mean, showing a successful hunt every time. So you get to see the ebb. It's like a game. When we're watching a football game, right? It's the ebb and flow, the highs and lows. Sometimes it's a pick six. Sometimes it is an awesome touchdown. That's kind of what, to me, you're creating and showcasing, Kurt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the ups and downs, the actual real nitty gritty, the raw stuff, the misses, the mess ups. I show it all, and sometimes I get some backlash from the hunting community on it, and so anti-hunters kind of give me some backlash. But I think it's more important for me to show the truth and what's really going on for other anglers and hunters in my space that can realize, look, you're not going to be successful all the time, and just because you're not doesn't mean you're a bad hunter or a bad angler or whatever. So. Yeah.
Western Obsessions. What all do you do under the Western Obsessions umbrella, Kurt?
Yep. So there's two major pillars. One's is kind of like a media brand. Like I go on hunts, I film them, and I create content. We do blogs, and so we create content and media. The other side of it is we help connect other hunters with outfitters. So by me going to do cool adventures, I have connections with outfitters that we've vetted that we know they're good operations. So if other hunters want to go on a nice adventure, we could say, hey, we recommend this guy and this guy for these reasons, and you don't have to do all the work of researching yourself and risking, because it's a lot of money to do that, and you're risking a lot of money, and we've already vetted it, so we get them connected, and that's the other side of the business.
Nice. And what are you, 5 or 6 years into Western Obsessions?
Yeah. I'm 6 years in, and it took me a while to kind of figure out how to monetize it so I can continue living this lifestyle. Just started out by I just enjoyed going out hunting and filming and trying to entertain others, and now we're starting to pick up some speed, and the business is starting to get some momentum.
How many shows do you do a year? I mean, are you pumping out 3, 4, 5 shows a week?
Of hunting episodes,
or just a podcast? Yeah, walk me through how many shows y'all do or hunts a year.
I personally go on somewhere between 6 to 8 hunts a year, and I try to film most of them, but we're probably only putting out maybe 5 episodes a year of me actually hunting. I'm trying to ramp that up so I can have my team go out and we'll film the team. But then I jump on other podcasts like I'm on here. So we have podcast content, a lot of social content that I'll do, on the YouTube, like some how-tos, some gear reviews, and then writing blogs. So try to put out quite a bit of content for everybody.
All right. What about for someone in Mississippi or the Southeast who dreams about Western elk or mule deer hunt? Where should they start, Kurt?
Yeah, it's a barrier of entry, right? If you're from the East or Midwest, or you just never been to the Western states to go hunt, it's a huge learning curve. And that was me. I moved to Colorado about 20 years ago. I stumbled around the mountains for about 3 years and realized I had no idea what I was doing. I was wasting my time and money. So I actually hired an outfitter, and I learned more in 5 days than what I learned in 3 years of stumbling around on my own. So, you can come out and do it. It's called a do-it-yourself DIY elk hunts. And Colorado has over-the-counter tags you could buy for rifle seasons, and you can definitely do it. And at least you're out doing it, and you're experiencing the mountains, and you're out in the wilderness. So you could definitely do that on a cheaper note. But if you can afford to hire an outfitter just for maybe your first couple times, I would do it just to learn as much as you can learn from that outfitter or from that guide to be able to do it on your own.
Have you ever hunted or fished in Mississippi?
I have not. I've never been to Mississippi doing any fishing or hunting there.
Okay. Somebody's got to bring in, Kurt, as many, from the Mississippi Delta to all around, great duck hunting, great deer hunting, great turkey hunting, and so on. What's the most physically challenging hunt you've ever been on?
Well, I've been on Kodiak Island mountain goat hunts. I've been on Adak Island caribou.
Where are those?
Adak's in Alaska. Kodiak is in Alaska. So Alaska's kind of like your pretty rugged, remote place. But I'll tell you, probably the most physical hunts that I go on is an backcountry archery elk hunt, where everything that you need is on your back, and you are deep in the mountains, and it's kicking your butt. Yeah.
Wow. How many of those do you do? How many of those type hunts do you do a year?
I enjoy that type of hunt the most. So I absolutely try to get in 2 to 3 of those types of hunts. And I love the physical part of it. I love it kicking my butt and really getting, dirty and deep into a mountain with everything in my back. So archery elk hunting is my favorite. I try to do that every year. This year, I actually have an archery moose hunt in Alaska. So I'm going to be doing a moose hunt in Alaska in September instead of elk in Colorado.
That's cool. And you've done that before?
No, this will be my first archery moose hunt in Alaska. I've moose hunted in Alberta, Canada. This will be my first time moose hunting in Alaska.
Okay. So. All right. Kurt Belding, Western Obsessions on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 1059 The Zone, driven by your next GMC Sierra truck at Fowler GMC, Pearl Brandon. All right. It looks like you work out. You mentioned you like the physical challenges. Do you work out on a regular basis?
I do. I still love fitness. I enjoy fitness. I do some hard workouts, and a lot of what I do as far as hunting, when you're on a mountain and things are not going great, and maybe you've been rained on for 3 days and you haven't seen an animal, it's a lot of mental toughness that you need to have. And my workouts that I do on a daily is more to strengthen my mental toughness, even more than like my physical ability.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Where do you live in Colorado?
So I live just east of Parker, which is the Denver metro area, out on an acreage.
Okay.
But I'm an hour's drive to hit the mountains.
God, that's great. We're gonna have to go see Kurt and
For
stay in his man cave and drink his beer. Okay. Yeah, and eat his elk. Yeah, we'll throw some of his protein on the grill. And all right, I like this. Kurt Belding, Western Obsessions, on the Out of Bounds Show, 1059 The Zone, ESPN. All right, so you're big into fitness. You're now a professional outdoorsman, and you have this super cool company, Western Obsessions. Are you a sports fan? I mean, I know hunting and fishing is a sport too, but what I mean do you like football, basketball, or baseball, or anything like that?
I do. I grew up playing a lot of sports, man. I played college baseball, love football, played a lot of basketball. So I'm a huge sports fan, but I'll be honest with you, the older I get, the less I watch of sports. And it's because I'd rather spend the time with the family or outdoors doing my true passion.
Sure. So you played some college baseball?
I did. I played at Nebraska Wesleyan in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Nebraska.
That's cool. What position?
I pitched, and when I wasn't pitching, I played left field.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Were you in college in the 90s or early 2000s?
So I was 99 through about 2001.
All right.
Is when I was in college.
Did you grow up in Nebraska?
I did. I grew up in the southeast corner, just south of Lincoln, about an hour, in a small town called Tecumseh, Nebraska.
Were you a rabid Frazier, Tom Osborne, Nebraska football fan? Because they went on this incredible run for about 30 years of winning at a high level, and then punched their ticket, as you know, Kurt, with 3 national championships in the 1990s. Were you all over that as a kid?
For sure. All over it. Loved watching Tommy Frazier and Osborne. My dad, we would sit and watch, and it was fantastic. That was the glory days of Nebraska, man, where they were on top, dominating. And, in the entire state of Nebraska, like, there's no professional teams in Nebraska. So, like, if you were a Nebraska football player, man, you were like a god.
Yes.
Especially during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had on, Kurt, I think you'll think this is funny. We had on Larry the Cable Guy on the show. He played at Pearl River Resort, a cool casino here. And he is a huge, diehard, rabid Nebraska Cornhusker. And he went into the whole thing, and it was hilarious. And now, although they've had a little bit of success, nothing like since about 2003, from like 1970 to 2003, all Nebraska did was win, as you know. But he was funny. He had lived in Florida, and he moved back on a farm in Nebraska, and he goes to all the Cornhusker games.
Yeah, we grew up in the same he's a little bit older than I am, so different, he's just, graduate before I did, but we grew up in the same kind of area in Nebraska, that southeast corner of Nebraska.
Yeah.
So
did you go to a game or some games as you grew up in Nebraska, and the Cornhuskers were one of the top 5 college football programs for years?
Oh, for sure, man. I grew up, going as a kid every once in a while. And then when I was in college, I went to a couple of them. And I tell you what, I moved out here to Denver, Colorado, and I went to, I've never been to a professional football game before. I went to see the Broncos play. I've only been watching Nebraska. And when I went to see the Broncos play, I was like, what is this? Is this even a football game? Like, there's nothing compares to a Nebraska football game, man. Even now, like, they're selling out stadiums still, even if the record isn't that great. It's just an amazing atmosphere and amazing time. Yeah.
So you were going to Lincoln. You're right. It's a rabid fan base, regardless if they're going 6-6 or 11-1. But you grew up going to Lincoln when they sold out every Saturday and Osborne was winning at this high level, was it amazing, but did you kind of take it for granted because all you knew was winning?
Well, I tell you what, man. One, experience in Lincoln during a game day is amazing. The entire city is red. Everyone's funneling down to the stadium. The entire state shuts down for game day, right? So one thing I really took away from that is the domination factor of like, you know, during that era, that was a pretty impactful time for me as a kid too. Sure. Growing up is like watching how they dominated. I really kind of took that into the rest of my life too. So everything that I do, I saw that domination factor. And now I try to dominate in whatever I do. Also, that perfection. You know?
You played baseball at Nebraska Westland. How many days were you out there when the wind was crazy and it was either snowing or damn near snowing, and y'all were either practicing or playing?
Oh, yeah. Baseball in the Midwest, early season. It's cold. It's 30 degrees, might be some flurries. And baseball when it's cold, man, is not fun. I'll tell you what.
All right. Let's see. All right. Bucket list. You just mentioned you're about to do something that you haven't done. That's always fun for any of us in whatever profession we're in. And you mentioned the fun challenges. What's another bucket list on Kurt Belding's list for Western Obsessions in the next year, maybe the next whole hunting cycle?
Man, that's a great question because I've checked off so much stuff on my bucket list just from the fact of like, look, if you have something on your bucket list, just go out and just get it done, right? Like just do it. So I've checked off so much stuff, but I guess in the immediate future for Western Obsessions, I want to continue to grow the brand and use some of that domination that I grew up with. And I would like to dominate the industry, not in a negative way, man. I want to change the industry for good. I want to give people great hunting experiences that I got. So growing the brand a little bit, bringing on more consultants, probably owning some more operations, some outfitting operations and stuff like that. But I've done a lot of really cool things, man, in the last 5 years. So I've really checked off a lot of bucket list stuff, and I'm very grateful for what I've been able to do.
That's awesome. Entrepreneur in the fitness industry, then pivoted into the outdoor industry. And of course, we know how big. We've all had friends travel all over the country and all over the world on amazing hunts. And this group around here is eating up with it. They're already getting ready for deer and dove season. Seriously, because it coincides with football. I mean, Labor Day weekend is bananas. Some of the biggest dove hunts in the country. People celebrate, and then they go and watch. They dove hunt, and then they go watch college football and go cook a bunch of good food. And then October 1, bow season kicks in, and then Thanksgiving week is duck season. It's just one thing after another. So
they just go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah.
Sport, watching football and hunting, it just goes hand in hand.
How many buddies do I have that leave the office on Thursday afternoon or Friday, go to their hunting camp, get a couple of hunts in, and then they go to Starkville to watch Mississippi State or Oxford to watch Ole Miss or Baton Rouge to watch LSU or Tuscaloosa to watch. I mean, it's nonstop chatter week to week. Where am I going hunting? What football game am I watching? Kurt Belding, Western Obsessions. Check out everything they're doing on YouTube and everywhere else. You'll love his stuff. He's creating great content, and he's kind of a fresh voice in space in the outdoor and hunting profession. Kurt, we appreciate it. Congratulations on your success, and we hope to maybe catch up with you in the fall when things really kick off. How about that?
That would be great, Bo. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, bud. Thanks, Kurt Belding. Take care, buddy.
Thank you. Bye.
Western Obsessions. This guy's got it going on. Entrepreneur, was in the fitness industry and then said, hey, this is my passion. This is what I want to do, and I want to be one of the best outfitters and build a hell of an outfitting business in that space. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, and we appreciate Kurt hanging out with us today. Kurt Belding, professional outdoorsman. That's pretty cool.
That was tight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
That was a good That was a good pickup.
That was good. Well, we got. I mean, that's our hunting guy.
He is. We've got Bartu in Oregon.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Who hunts the hell out of elk and other things or other animals. Right. And now we've got Kurt. Yeah, I need to say, be specific, clarify there. Bartu, who loves elk hunting first,
right,
but obviously does some other hunting. And because the first time I ever picked up Bartu at the airport when he flew in here,
right,
he reaches in his backpack and says, "Hey, man, you want some elk jerky?" And I was like, "Yeah."
It had to be homemade.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it was, it was in a Ziploc bag. He had made it.
Of course.
He had hunted that elk. It had been made. Freaking awesome, man. And so Bartu is eating up with it. Many of you are. And that was Kurt Belding, Western Obsessions. So if you're looking to, plan a hunt or you want to start watching somebody who's got it going on, Kurt, K-U-R-T, Belding, Western Obsessions.
Yeah, westernobsessionstv.com. He's got a whole slew of folks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, they got consultants left and right, taking guides left and right. This is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, nothing better than a guy saying, you know what, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, and do it at a high level.
Yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah.
That was fun. Chuck Mullins, NFL Chuck, Cleveland Browns super fan, attorney at law. He hung out with us and talked Brendan Sorsby. He's not going to be able to go to the NFL until next April, and there'll be a lot of litigation and all that. But he'll be in a very loaded quarterback class in April with Dante Moore from Oregon, Arch Manning from Texas, C.J. Carr from Notre Dame, Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss, Sam Levitt from LSU, the dude with the long name from Oklahoma State, and the list goes on and on. All right. And the Southern Cal and UCLA QBs. Iamali Lava started at Tennessee, but eventually moved out to UCLA. And there's more. And we're going to have a hell of a quarterback in Starkville. I don't know what that means wins-wise, but if Kamario Taylor stays healthy, he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Now, he's also going to be in the process of a steep learning curve, but there's going to be wow moments and several good possessions. And like we mentioned several years ago, a great player from this state threw 6 interceptions in one game in Matt Corral.
Right.
It happened. And Matt Corral was incredible his last 2 years at Ole Miss. Out of Bounds is driven by your next GMC Sierra truck. You can check out the Denali package too. But, boy, it's a great truck, and you can find them pre-owned and new at Fowler, Fowler, FowlerGMC.com. They're located Pearl Brandon. I'm your host, Bo Bounds. Don't forget we're on Spotify. Search Out of Bounds with Bo Bounds.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
This is Out of Order.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Low Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9. All set? Let's go. The Zone.
Football malpractice. The credit card bill for Drew Brees, you got to pay.
Yep. Hey, we are the Out of Bounds Show, 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Pete Golding, Trinidad Chambliss, Jeff Levy, Camario Taylor will dominate the airwaves over the next couple of months as we head into the 2026 football season. Can't wait. So many questions that you have about your team and your players and your coaches. We have a new offensive coordinator in Oxford, Mississippi. John David Baker, only 2 years play calling at East Carolina. And then you have a new defensive coordinator that's new for now at Mississippi State, but was the defensive coordinator for 3 years at MSU under Mike Leach, then the interim coach for a year, then spent a year under Lane Kiffin and Pete Golding at Ole Miss, and then spent a year under Mike Norvell at Florida State. Zach Arnett is back in Starkville. He is much, much better than Coleman Hutzler, although that bar is low, but Zach is much better than Coleman Hutzler. John David Baker is not much better than much better than Lane Kiffin. However, John David Baker may, have a great run at Ole Miss. I know that he will be able to. This is going to be the softest landing you can have in the SEC because he can just hang out and talk about ordering pizza and nachos and sliders on the sideline with Trinidad Chambliss and Kawan Lacey and still be successful. But he could add to what they need to do and make them more successful. But he's not a top 5 offensive play caller like Lane Kiffin. He's not top 50. And neither is Levy. That doesn't mean that they're bad, but they're not in the upper tier of college football as far as play calling. That doesn't mean that they can't be 3 or 4 years from now as play callers, right, but they're not now. And I thought what was interesting is the numbers that Bartu sent me. We know that Pete Golding's a good defensive coordinator, but Ole Miss was 11th in play calling on the defensive side of the football in 2026, yet finished 11-1. That surprised me. That surprised me. Mississippi State was 15th, the only team that was worse as far as defensive play callers in 2025 was Arkansas. And as you know, Arkansas was god-awful. So there you go. How about that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. But look, y'all, it's all about play calling, and then it's all about play calling in the red zone, right? I mean, what are you going to do in the red zone? Are you going to score a touchdown? Are you going to kick a field goal? Or are you going to, turn the ball over on downs? Are you going to miss a field goal? Or are you going to turn the ball over? So, I mean, how are we converting as we march into the red zone? On the defensive side for Golding and Zach Arnett, how many times do you get stops? How many times do you keep them from scoring a touchdown and they'll kick a field goal? Or how many times can you either, get them off the field on downs or they turn it over? That's what we're looking at. But those are the four, the 4 play callers are John David Baker, OC at Ole Miss, and Pete Golding, DC at Ole Miss, / head coach. And Jeff Lebby is OC and head coach. And Zach Arnett's the DC.
Yeah, I can't believe Baker's an OC. I thought 2 years of OC and play calling got you a head coaching position down here.
Well, it does with Joe Moorhead and Jeff Lebby. Matt Luke wasn't even but that was different.
Yeah, a lot different.
Hugh Freeze stepped down on July 20th. So that's a different scenario. I mean, you're talking, you're like 8 or 9 days from your whole team reporting.
Was he not? I mean, can that not go down as one of the better decisions Ole Miss made in modern history?
Well, I don't know about modern history, but I don't know if it was one of the better. He worked.
Oh,
he never had a winning season.
No,
but he didn't go 2-10,
right?
Like Lebby in year one, or like Ogeron at Ole Miss threw up some 3-9s and stuff or whatever they were. He was 10-25 overall in 3 years, so he averaged 3.3 wins per year. Right. Luke was a fantastic recruiter.
Yeah.
So Matt Luke was able to hand off a healthy roster to Lane Kiffin, who was competent enough as a head coach to utilize it, leverage it, and parlay it into wins.
Right. I mean, he needed an Ole Miss guy at that point. I don't know why, but that's what they say. You need an Ole Miss guy after the Freeze deal.
Right.
What a better Ole Miss guy than Matt Luke.
Matt Luke, who I don't know if Matt's still at Clemson as the offensive line coach, but I think he is.
Has that dude ever got in trouble for anything, even in grade school? He's just a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He is rated, as far as the coaching metrics, as a damn good offensive line coach and recruiter.
Well, I mean, he's got Clinton ties, so it makes sense.
Grew up on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Did.
And his dad played football at Ole Miss. And then both the brothers, Matt and Tom Luke, played at Ole Miss.
Oh, yeah, he got a ring.
In fact, I think Tom's still on the staff with Golding. He was on the staff with Lane. Yeah, he got a ring at Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Kirby's offensive line coach.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then bounced.
Then he sat out at least a year.
He did.
Maybe 2, and then Clemson, beautiful area.
Oh, yeah, 3.
And he's back.
He checked out for 3 years.
I didn't know it was 3.
He ended at Georgia in 21, started at Clemson in 24, so 2.5, 3. Yeah. That's a long time.
That's a nice little. Well, he had made like
49.
15 to 18 million at Ole Miss,
right?
And then made money doing other things. I mean, he's in that space where he probably makes $600,000 to $800,000 a year as an offensive line coach.
Oh, he made that at 40.
Yeah,
dang.
How about that?
I did not realize that. Way to go, Matt.
Way to go, Matt Luke.
Good job, guy.
Jeff Lebby making over $4.5 million a year.
That's a crime.
I have buddies who say that's stealing.
It is stealing.
But
I'll tell you exactly what it is.
But anyway. We
football
are
malpractice.
Oh, drop that.
The football malpractice.
Yeah. Name all the places that are going through football malpractice. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Browns, Mississippi State. Who else?
Sorsby,
Kentucky, but they don't care. Arkansas Razorbacks have been going through football malpractice. I have to think that through. Maybe North Carolina with Belichick.
Hey.
Year 2 with Belichick. Hey, do you need a plumber? Need your AC fixed before this Mississippi heat cranks up? Call the team you can trust. Ford Plumbing and Air. Ford Plumbing and Air. Now offering full HVAC services. Ford Plumbing and Air. Their number is 601-940-0597. The Out of Bounds Show is brought to you by Ford Plumbing and Air. Local, high quality work. Call them today. Ford Plumbing and Air.
A football malpractice. A football malpractice. A football malpractice.
Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. And lunch today is brought to you by Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance and Taste Italian Kitchen in Starkville. Great place for lunch and dinner. And also 2 beautiful bars. And their outdoor area is about to be open here in the Renaissance. It is insane. What they basically built another restaurant outside that's got a really, really, really cool factor at Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance. Anne-Marie with Rains Cellars, beautiful wine and spirits store in Flora, Mississippi, right by Flora Butcher. Anne-Marie will join us coming up in the next segment. We're looking forward to that. And I think we're going to try a red and a white wine and talk about their awesome selection of premium bourbon and premium tequila. It's a beautiful store, lots of character, as you can imagine. And, well, she's here.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. She can make her way over there. But we're excited that Anne-Marie with Rain Cellars, and it's right beside Flora Butcher, same owner. And Flora Butcher is where you can get great cuts of steak and Wagyu, and the salmon is fabulous. But Anne-Marie will join us in the next segment, and we're looking forward to that. Again, Rains Cellars is a beautiful spot, and it's a great place to pick up a couple of good bottles of wine or premium tequila or premium bourbon. Rains Cellars in Flora, and Flora Butcher's right there. So you can go pick up your steak or your unbelievable, or your stuffed pork chop,
like
or that salmon that David has that we had a couple of nights ago. And then you can walk right next door and get a great bottle of wine or a premium bottle of tequila like Espolón or bourbon like Elijah Craig, among the 100 other labels that they have. Yeah. That is smart.
I like the combo. I like to be, it's multitasking. It's efficiency.
You mentioned, we were talking NFL. I want to talk football here for a second.
Sure.
Okay. So you mentioned the Brandon Ayuk thing.
Yes.
All right. San Francisco 49ers wide receiver. They're not on the same page as far as the front office. So we've got another high maintenance receiver.
Oh.
In the NFL. A.J. Brown just went from the Eagles to the Patriots. There had been some friction there. And he reunites with his former coach from the Tennessee Titans and Mike Vrabel. So they like each other and so on.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on with Brandon Ayuk.
My man decided to he signed a contract with the 49ers.
Okay.
For $40-something million.
Yeah.
$50-something million.
Yeah, I thought it was 50-something.
Yeah, and he just decided he was good. He was going to pass on the opportunity to keep playing for them, and he had an injury,
right?
That kept him out for a little bit,
and they didn't like that I don't think they did. They liked that he wasn't maybe rehabbing at the facility.
He was not
enough or something.
And
a lot of guys this day and age want to have their own team. A lot of times the teams are like, "Hey, we have our own orthopedics guy, PTs, and so on, and trainers, and we would like for you to be in the building rehabbing."
Yes, and
okay, I think
John Lynch is a good GM.
He's done a good job.
He has done a really good job.
He was a hell of a player for Tampa Bay.
He was. Quote from Johnny Boy: "Safe to say that Ayuk has played his last snap with the Niners." So they're done.
Okay,
they're done. They do have him under contract. They are looking to trade him. He did actually in the latest twist and turn yesterday evening. Ayuk was on social media hooting and hollering, "Go Commanders."
Oh, he wants to go to Washington.
He played with Jaden in Arizona State.
I got it now. Before Jaden Daniels transferred to LSU, right. Brandon Ayuk and Jaden Daniels played together at Arizona State.
Big time homies.
Okay. Fair enough.
There have been a lot of outspoken people about Ayuk. For right or wrong.
All right, so that's going on.
Oh, it's a whole ordeal.
And if they do get him and he's healthy, then that could be good for Washington. Man. Let's switch gears. Have y'all watched the Europeans going crazy over being here in America for the FIFA World Cup and how much they love being here? And so they're doing all these videos on Twitter and Instagram and according to Wendy, TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but evidently I've got to get on it. But they're talking about how the air conditioning is amazing and ice in their drinks is incredible. And they get free refills of iced tea and coffee. And the whole Tex-Mex scene has blown their mind because they get complimentary free chips and salsa and or bread, depending on where they're going.
Mind-blowing.
And then they found Buc-ee's and Costco, and they didn't know that you could have that kind of selection.
Range.
Right. And it's just funny because, one, air conditioning is awesome. This is brought to you by Ford Plumbing and Air. Air conditioning, like right now, it's really cool in this room, and I like it. Yeah. I like to sleep cold, right? Last night it was on 68. That's I wasn't sure if it needed to be lower.
Good God.
Yeah.
You get pneumonia.
Now, when I travel, and we're in hotel rooms a lot, and I'll be in one tonight on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, I may have to get that thing on 60 degrees.
Good God.
Okay.
Freeze them pipes up.
What? So that
when
you wake up, it's almost Arctic.
How you get out of bed?
These Europeans, so it's ticking off the European media because for decades they've told them all this nonsense.
Right. Well, what do they have over there? Do they not have this stuff over there?
Well, they don't have air conditioning like we do. They don't have ice in their drinks.
Well, I thought we were.
They don't get free refills, and they don't get any kind of bread and or chips and salsa. I don't even know if they have a Tex-Mex scene.
They get fleeced.
Yeah,
they're getting there. That's on them.
Hey, and they may have found the premium tequila space, which, people like Anne Marie and the Rain Cellars crew are all about that. But when you see the videos of the chips and salsa being put down on the table, they don't know what's going on. And they're telling we didn't order this. Right. And they're like, no, it's free. And then they come and they pour more iced tea in their drink. And they're like, I don't want to pay for that. And they're like, it's free.
It's never ending.
They're going to go back. This is going to be generational over many generations.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to go back to Spain and England and Scotland and wherever in Europe and tell about their experience, which then the 6, 8, and 10-year-olds are going to want to come to America to experience what we offer. And we do take it for granted. And do we have challenges? Absolutely. But here's the deal. They are having a blast coast to coast. And I think even the elite, the media, mainstream media on the East Coast and West Coast here, it's ticking them off. That we actually get along.
Right.
That we have fun. And that they have had a great time, whether it's the flyover states or whether it's like Boston, New York, LA, Seattle. The videos are so damn good.
Oh, yeah.
They're loving our food. They love all the stores from Buc-ee's to Costco. And the restaurants, the stuff has blown their mind. They will go back and tell people 10 years older, 20 years younger, 30 years younger, what they did. And it's going to have a snowball effect. And it's good for both Europe and for us.
I agree.
And they're creating GoFundMe so they can stay another week.
I love that.
And people are pumping in $3,000 and $4,000 so that they can stay for the next round. We're going to talk about all the awesome things happening at Rain Cellars in Flora. Beautiful wine and spirit store. And great selection of wine. And Anne Marie and her team are super knowledgeable if you're having a party or just trying to pair something for tonight or this weekend. And then Flora Butcher right beside it. Amazing steaks, Wagyu, and seafood. Back in a second. You're listening to ESPN 105.9 The Zone. right. Ooh.
What?
Good morning to you.
By the way, I'm a fan.
I love you. Out of Bounds, ESPN 1059 The Zone. We're drinking a little wine in studio. We're so excited to have our friend from Rain Cellars in, Anne Marie, one of the most knowledgeable wine people that I know. And she's been great walking us through wines for a few years now. And Rain Cellars is on the show. We're excited to have them. Check them out if you haven't been out to Flora. And then right beside there is Flora Butcher. And they're doing a great job, too, with amazing steaks and seafood and Wagyu and all kinds of stuff. So Anne Marie's in the house with Rain Cellars. And good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bo.
All right, so we're going to try. No, let's start with Rain Cellars first. All right. How long have y'all been open?
We have been open for 4 years and 1 month.
Time flies. I
When you're
can't believe
having
I've been.
fun.
Yeah, I can't believe I've been going to Rain's for 4 years. Y'all have tastings on Thursday?
Thursday through Saturday, we do wine tastings. And
Okay.
so generally we'll offer 2 reds and 2 whites. Sometimes we'll have a cocktail in place of one of those or a different spirit to try. And then once the spirits are open, you can actually try them anytime that we're open. So Monday through Saturday, once they're open, you can just stop by and try something before you buy it. Yes.
Yeah, legally you can have a little area. And it's great because if Anne Marie or one of her colleagues is featuring a red or a white, or they've gotten a barrel pick in or whatever's going on, they're like, hey, check this out. And depending on what you're doing, if you're hosting 3 or 4 couples, or you're just throwing some good food on the grill or getting everything sauteed up in the kitchen. All right, walk us through how you run Rain Cellars. How did you're the GM of Rain Cellars. How did you get into the hospitality, wine, and spirit business?
Well, I've been in the hospitality industry my entire career, and I was looking for a change, and David approached me with running Rain Cellars, and I told him that would never happen ever. And then lo and behold, it was just meant to be. And so now I get to play with wine and spirits all day, and I love it. I learn something new every day and then get to chase my kids around a lot more. So,
All right, so you do a great job because I'm one that will come in and ask you, questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love wine. And I think it's such a fun part of life and conversation and food and friends and around the island in the kitchen. I mean, hey, try this and all the different styles and fun stuff. When did you really start to do a deep dive into knowing about all the varietals and this and that in the wine space?
So the way that it works is the reps will come to the store and bring us new things to try. Right. And so they want to get their product on the shelves, right? So they'll come in and make appointments, and sometimes they have the actual winemaker with them, and then they'll highlight different things and give you some of the history behind it. So it's really fascinating to learn like the different grapes and the climate with it, and then the history behind it is probably my favorite part. Yeah. So it's really easy to start deep diving into it when you're getting so much information every day from all of our liquor reps.
Because it's overwhelming for, a CPA, a dad CPA, or a mom pharmaceutical sales rep, but they enjoy wine. They want to go in and bounce a couple of ideas or things around off you so that you can point them in the right direction, red, white, rosé, or whatever they're looking for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think people understand the core grapes. Like they know Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Noir, and Cabernet, but they may want to try something different or from a different region. And so that's one of my favorite things to do is for somebody to be like, I like this, but I'm tired of drinking the same thing every day. What should I try instead?
Right. So somebody comes in and it's like, hey, I heard about this. Or you can say, hey, we've got a French Syrah or a Spanish Tempranillo that I really like that I think would match up with your palate.
Yes.
And then you kind of go down the road of where this, like me, you know what I like. And so you always steer me in here, whether it's Spain or France or South Africa or whatever. And it's fun to try new things. I mean, that's what I love. I've got a couple of wine folders in here.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm traveling, bouncing around, and I always show Anne Marie, she's like, oh God, Bo's here again. And he's pulling up a bottle from wherever he's been. But Do you like that? Do you enjoy that interaction and fun conversation with your clients?
Absolutely. It's super fun to hear what people have tried and what they're interested in, and then to see what we can get in Mississippi. Because one of the common misconceptions is that Mississippi has a terrible selection, which just isn't true.
No.
There's actually a mega book that Mississippi offers that most stores and restaurants just don't dive into. And so therefore people don't know that it's an option if it's not available at their local store.
Okay. Anne-Marie Smith, Rain Cellars on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, beautiful wine and spirit store in Flora. And of course, their sister business, Flora Butcher, great spot to grab, a Wagyu steak or a big bone-in ribeye or a stuffed pork chop and pair it with, like Anne-Marie was saying, maybe you want a Grenache or a big Cabernet Franc or something like that, whatever you're looking for. I think the blends are fascinating today too. Here's what Anne-Marie, the creativity around, I know it's always been good, but the last 20 to 25 years, new blood coming in and the creativity around winemaking is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Okay, so this is delicious. First of all, the nose is amazing. Tell our listeners what me, you, and Jackson are sipping on this morning.
So we are trying La Scolca. This is Gavi. Gavi is 100% Cortese from the Piedmont region in Italy.
Oh, nice.
And it is
like Italians.
Fantastic.
It is a highly aromatic white wine. That's what it's like acacia, like white flower smells to it.
Jumps out of the glass. And by the way, we were actually able to find some wine glasses in here. I used to have about 50 of them, and I finally got tired of having them here and took them home, haven't brought them back. But Anne-Marie was able to make some things happen. All right, so this is a fun wine from Italy.
Yes.
And it's light, crisp, and Jackson Meadows?
It is light and crisp. That's good. I mean, it's refreshing, very refreshing.
It is.
And aromatic.
And this is a good day drinking wine, or you can obviously pop it at night.
Yeah, it'd be really great with seafood dishes. The nice thing about this wine is that it's not aggressive in any one particular flavor. I think a lot of times people, especially guys, may shy away from the white wine because they don't want it to be assaulted with grapefruit or grass or
white wine parties. It's always partied.
It does party.
It's partied way harder than red wine.
Oh, I didn't know this.
All the time.
Okay.
No doubt.
All right.
It's funnelable.
So go ahead, Anne-Marie, on how it tastes and guys thinking about a white wine.
So this wine doesn't have any aggressive flavors to it. It's just very bright. So it still has the nice acidity, but it's not going to shoot up your cheek. It's dry. A lot of people equate white wine with sweetness for whatever reason.
I want dry wine. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this one's like very crisp. It's got a lot more minerality to it.
Oh, yes. Wow. I love that. And she's right. Because I know she probably sells a lot of it, and I think that's great. But I don't want a buttery Chardonnay, Kendall Jackson. I want something like what Anne-Marie brought in this morning. Is that fair?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said, so this would go great with halibut, salmon. I mean, any number of things. A charcuterie board, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Cheese. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I was thinking breakfast.
Well, and
for you in your solo cup.
That is a great breakfast wine.
He put the wine.
I need a refill.
We've got a Blues Trail solo cup that Jackson Meadows put his wine in.
Well, I mean, I needed to dial it back a long time.
Right.
And then I needed to reminisce a little bit. This is how I remember it. Going to the fridge, looking for the box. But this is
so we've made fun of him over the years because he talks about his college days and a little bit of post-college.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not far.
Drinking wine out of a box. However, you have about 400 options that are better than that, right?
At least.
At Rain Cellars.
At least 400.
Yeah, at minimum.
Anne-Marie Smith, Rain Cellars on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. I want to go back to guys. So when we started talking about wine on the show, Anne-Marie, 17 or 18 years ago, there was some pushback from our typical Mississippi dude. Now you go to restaurants and you see guys that 15, 20 years ago were not drinking wine. They're drinking wine.
Yes.
I think it's cool. I love it. And look, women are into vino too. And they're like, there's so many places to explore and it's fun. But now you got the Mississippi dude who hunts and fishes like crazy, but he wants a bold Syrah.
Yeah, he's breaking it down too now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the whole deal going on.
Yeah.
They are fully invested.
And we were before the bourbon boom.
Right.
We were showcasing wine. And then 2010 we got on the bourbon boom and so on. Now we're in the tequila boom, as Amory knows, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. But what I think is great is guys have given wine a chance, and they now know that they like vino with their ribeye or their rack of lamb or brisket or whatever they're doing. Are you seeing more of that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I think the guys also like the history behind it. They like to be able to break it down, and they want to share it with their buddies and compare the notes and see what the equivalent of a mash bill is for the wine, if it's blended.
It's the same thing with steak cuts and different bourbons, as you know, and that's where this applies for wine. This is delicious. What does this retail for?
About 22.
That's a great price point. Can I see that bottle?
Yeah.
And I love the bottle, love the label. Okay, so La Skolka. Did I say that right?
Nice.
Yes.
And the wine, Gavi. Love that. And I'm going to have to pick up about $22 at Rain Cellars. It's La Skolka Gavi wine. It is absolutely delicious. All right. Let's go bourbon first. Let's switch gears. Because it's still popular. It couldn't be vertical forever. It has plateaued some. However, men and women love a good glass of bourbon tonight or on a Thursday, Friday night, like we're talking about. So let's talk about that. Did you ever think that we would see the bourbon boom of the last 15 years?
No, but I think everybody was surprised by that.
Yeah. I mean, we landed Four Roses in 2010, and I had no idea what kind of ride we were about to go. Actually, I didn't even know what Four Roses was.
Yeah.
Okay. So I grew up and, I knew what a lot of the bourbons were.
Right.
Makers and Jack Daniels and even the small batch that Jim Beam had rolled out in the late 90s with Knob Creek and all that. But I didn't know what we were doing. And Four Roses reboots as a brand, throws out the yellow label, small batch, and then the single barrel. And then we go into Russell's Reserve and all that. Now we're with Elijah Craig. But that thing was like a rocket ship. Mm-hmm. And I know you witnessed it and lived it in what we're in, the entertainment and hospitality industry, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so now y'all have literally dozens, hundreds of bourbons at Rain Cellars.
We probably have 500 on the shelf right now.
Jeez.
500 bourbons. And the premium game took off. And even though it's plateaued, it's still very popular.
It's still our number one selling category in the store, by far.
Wow.
No doubt.
Okay, because we landed a bourbon before we landed Tito's. How about that?
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, yeah, when was Tito's? That would've been
2000,
13, 12?
Yeah.
Right around?
Like 2013, 14. We landed Tito's.
I mean,
So we had already had a bourbon on the show.
So Tito's is our number one product seller, but as far as category overall, our highest sellers is bourbon.
How about that?
That's pretty dope. That's cool.
Like probably 10% down from that is Cabernet.
Wow.
Okay, so it's bourbon, Tito's, Cab.
Cab's red.
Well, Tito's is our number one item, but as far as like category, it's bourbon and then Cabernet.
That makes sense. Because dudes still want big, bold cabs, whether it's out of California or otherwise. That's still going to drive. But people are trying more. You are seeing, I know y'all been open 4 years, either the last 4 or a couple years, that men and women are trying more things other than cab.
Yes, but that's also like how our store is set up. So the idea is to get them to try something different when they come in.
Nice,
right. Yeah. Which y'all do a great job of, right? When you walk in with the import or whatever, international racks of of wine, both on the left, and then your picks and David picks are on the right. Then you can kind of just navigate your way around the store, which I want to talk about. Your store has a lot of character. It's a very cool factor. You know, it's like rustic, but high end, you know, Mississippi store. Y'all did a good job with it.
Thanks. It's like a library of wine and spirits.
It's like a library of wine and spirits. They have tastings Thursday through Saturday at Rain Cellars in Flora, right beside Flora Butcher. Should we talk tequila?
Yeah.
You thought I was going to say wine in the box.
Well, I mean, I thought you were going to go funnelability of wine, which, I mean, that's how I grade them. And this one's going to be a 10. That's a funnelable
this
wine
one is
right
great. $22. Drinks like it's 30 plus. La Sculca and from Italy. Fabulous.
Where's are your favorite wines from? Do you have a preference?
Oh, this will be good.
I know it's tough. I know that's a tough one. I'm sorry, but I'm Italian, so
well, how about let's do this right now?
Yeah, sure.
What's your favorite region or part of the world that Anne-Marie is? I know you're trying things from all over all the time, but what's your favorite area?
I think in general, my favorite region is France by far.
Okay.
Wow. I'll take that as a slight. She's just not an Italian.
Oh, because you're Italian.
Yeah, we don't. Okay. That's all right.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, you didn't even know that she was bringing an Italian wine.
Right.
I had no idea.
So
for you to drink out of a solo cup.
See, look, well, I mean,
which is
very
incredible.
Italian.
That is very,
it is.
That's very Mississippi Delta.
It is.
And the fact that it says Blues Trail or something
That's
on
right.
that cup is even better.
Yeah, Blues Cup of the World. How about that?
Blues Cup of the World. I remember when we did all that years ago. So much fun. Okay. Do we want to go to the red wine? Yeah.
Pour it up.
All right.
What do you think the funnelability rating on that is?
You want to do it? Okay.
I'm thinking the funnelability has got to be 7-ish, 8-ish.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, because I mean that's a 10 right there.
Dude, think about how cultured you're becoming and refined on this show.
Seasoned.
Anne-Marie Smith, Rain Cellars on the Out of Bounds show just poured us a delicious Italian white wine that they have in the store for $22. It's great for mid-afternoon or, of course, a night beverage, pairing it with a charcuterie board or some salmon or halibut or whatever it is you want. Jackson Meadows is drinking out of a blue solo cup.
I mean,
straight out of Clinton.
That's right.
But y'all didn't serve wine until like the last few years.
Yeah, it happened like 4 years ago.
So we give you a pass.
It should. I mean, dude, wine.
Right.
That's all. That's what my parents got on me for doing.
True.
Whining.
When you grab your bottle of wine, you can step over to Flora Butcher and you can grab an amazing steak or several. Good Lord, did they do well. And that, I mean, that's like a kid in the candy store. Yeah. You walk in Anne-Marie's store and you're like, great wine, premium bourbon, premium tequila everywhere. And then you go into Flora Butcher and you get a great, great meal. All right, what do we have here, Anne-Marie?
So this is a Gamay.
A what?
From
a Gamay Noir.
Mm-hmm. Gamay from the Loire Valley in France.
Oh my goodness. And it smells delicious. I haven't even tasted it yet. You can watch the show on YouTube, search Out of Bounds Sports.
I'm scared if I swivel it around, I'm going to spill it.
You're supposed to. Yeah, swirl it around in your glass.
Here.
All right.
Just like that, Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Here, I'll show you how
I
to
got
do
the
it.
technique down.
Hold on. Let me get for the camera. Let me show you how to do it.
Yeah. Hold on.
Ready?
Let me see this thing.
All right.
You're going to have to.
Do this.
Ah.
And then you go.
Okay, that aerates it. All right, okay.
Anne-Marie can tell me.
Oh, it does give it a little boost. Yeah.
This would be great.
Dude, she's chugging it.
Okay. This would be great with any number of things, but the first thing that came to mind was a rack of lamb.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then and you could go any number of directions here.
Solid right there.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a plush, juicy Gamay. And it would just like bring out the succulence of the lamb.
Well, man, I wish she could infuse her vocab into me. I love it.
Wouldn't that be
It'd be so dope.
Now, if you went to one of Anne-Marie's, like even if you just did a 20-minute
Yes.
wine session,
I would love that.
with her, and all the terminology that she used, you wouldn't even know what to do when you walked out of Rain Cellars.
No, I wouldn't. And I do appreciate the vocab. It's very good. I like it a lot.
Look, you're going to walk around later tonight and say, I had a Gamay Noir, and people are going to be like, what?
Yeah,
you had dental surgery?
Yeah.
How do you spell that word?
You know how to spell it. Gamay.
I would have never gotten that.
What does this retail for at Rain Cellars?
This is 22 as well.
Wow. Great price point for our listeners. I asked Anne Marie. She crushed it. I said, please bring in 2 high-quality bottles of wine between $18 and $25, $22 a piece. This white from Italy and this red from France are both delicious. You can drink them this weekend with your friends and have a big time. All right. Tell me about this wine again. Sorry, and then we'll wrap it up.
So Gamay is probably a close cousin to Pinot Noir.
Makes sense.
So we recommend it a lot to people that come in that are looking for a Pinot but may want something a little different. So you may pick up on like the light fruity notes from this, but it's very balanced. There's a good bit of earthiness to it, a little bit more spaciousness than you would expect from an American Pinot Noir.
Another one that would go great with the charcuterie board.
Yes.
Oh my God, the meats and the cheese all day long tonight, or whatever you get ready for the FIFA World Cup and everything else we got going on. This is delicious, Anne Marie.
Yeah, Gamay is very versatile, and you actually serve this chilled, so that's why your wine is not room temperature.
Nice.
Yes.
Is there like a golden or a rule of thumb of where you when you do that?
I want to jump in and see if she corrects me or says something. We drink our red too warm and our white too cold in the South.
I can see that.
But I'm going to...
In America.
In America.
Nice.
I'm going to tee... We got about a minute and a half. I'm going to tee Anne Marie up on that. Your thoughts?
So lots of people have their wines in a chiller at home, and then they'll pull it out and serve it, which is correct. Like you want your reds to be closer to like maybe the 55, 60 range, whereas in our house in Mississippi, it's probably like 72.
Lukewarm.
Maybe.
Right.
But this one benefits if you chill it, and then when you're ready to serve it, I know sometimes it's hard to wait, but just pull it out of the fridge and give it about 30 minutes to kind of like come down a bit.
Yeah.
You have to do a little prep for it.
Yeah,
or if you're ready to go, you can also open it, pour you some while you're starting up the grill, throw it in the fridge real quick, and see if it will kind of chill up a bit.
Yeah.
Recipe. I like it.
I like that. Well, these were delicious. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, next time, and this was good that we kind of kept this in our back pocket. We'll talk premium tequila.
Yeah, of course.
Which they've got an unbelievable premium tequila, boutique premium tequila selection at Rain Cellars. And that's what is vertical right now in the business. Go see Anne Marie Smith and her team at Rain Cellars in Flora. And also stop into Flora Butcher and get dinner and a big feast for the weekend and pair it with a great bottle of wine. Premium bourbon like Elijah Craig, or premium tequila like Espolón. We'll see you tomorrow live from the Mississippi Gulf Coast.